shared distributed ledger. Nearly a dozen firms, including JP Morgan, Citi, MasterCard, and Swift, will test a regulated settlement network to tokenize commercial bank money, central bank money, U.S. Treasuries, and more. Now, this project is led by the Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association, and right now it's just a test. The transactions are just simulations, but the goal of the network is to allow 24/7 settlement of multiple assets, something that Wall Street has seen as a major promise of blockchain technology. Raj Damodaran, Executive Vice President of Blockchain and Digital Assets at MasterCard, said in the press release that a shared ledger could unlock the next generation of market infrastructures.
One more case in the progression that the SEC's been focusing on in their crypto enforcement, right? And so it's just like a lot of the other exchange cases. And if the SEC is correct, and some or all of these crypto assets are securities, then as a practical matter, all of these exchanges should be registered as broker-dealers. That's how the law works. Now, Robinhood has a registered broker-dealer entity. They sell securities, as everyone knows. And so they may have a leg up because they have that regulated infrastructure that may or may not be in place in their crypto asset part, right? They have that governance and framework and infrastructure. So if, again, all of this comes down to the SEC saying many of the products that you are selling are securities. And if they are, then they all have to be registered. And that's what these cases involve, is the failure to register as a broker-dealer. Now, the SEC's lost a couple of these cases.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And I went over this earlier. And as you can see, guys, this is the biggest news we had in a while. And guess what? It gets no news. The central banks and big banks are working on real-time settlement 24/7. And we know how much liquidity it takes. That's the reason why they're only doing a simulation. These small and medium-sized banks will not survive. And they're using a US dollar, which we know is going to be a stable coin and is going to be programmable. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And finally, someone tells the truth and makes it simple. SEC goes after Robinhood, but remember, Robinhood is already a publicly traded company, already has a broker-dealer license. Plus, they already said they met with the SEC 15 times. Guys, this is all a movie. Just sit back, get your popcorn, and let it play out. And we have Tesla testing robotaxis in China. And guys, it's all about that GPS mapping, because guess what? If you can do this where billions of people are at, you can do it anywhere. And we know for a fact Tesla already has a GPS mapping for the United States. Look at all these satellites they have in the sky. Remember, Elon Musk is mapping out the fourth industrial revolution. And then we have TikTok. TikTok can be banned January of next year. Now we know this algorithm is not going anywhere because that algorithm is masterful. Now it may go away, but it's going to come back in some type of form because they're just not going to let all that data, all that great work on that algorithm go. And social media is just like TV. This is how they program the minds of the sheep. And this is an election year. And we know they want to keep the Hegelian dialectic going. And social media is the way they get it done. They put whatever they want you to see in your face. That's the whole point of our algorithm. And when it comes to the NWO, there's no such thing as competition. They're always working together. And that's all we're seeing right now is consolidation of these big businesses and partnerships. And we have Uber and Instacart partner. And guys, the only thing you have to do is put it in the fourth industrial revolution. Use your imagination. Robots, driverless cars, and drones delivering your items. Right now, of course, you have humanity still in the workforce, but you can easily see how they're going to remove humanity and allow the machines to take over. I've done too many videos on it. The machines have been ready for over 20 years. Only thing they're doing is waiting on that crisis. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Yesterday, you announced a deal with Instacart where folks who are using the Instacart app effectively can use your service. How much is that going to be a game changer or not in terms of what it means over the next 12 months to the business?
Well, we're very excited about the Instacart partnership. We view it as being highly strategic. When you look at our penetration, especially Uber Eats penetration, and you look at our category position, we are super strong in the big cities. And you'd expect that, right? The Uber name it's kind of an urban kind of a brand. And we believe our most significant growth opportunity in the US is in the suburbs, is in the less dense areas. That's an area of strength for Instacart. They wanted our content because they know we've got the best selection, the best service, the best pricing out there. And so we now get to put the Uber Eats brand and service in front of, the over 10 million Instacart customers who tend to live in the suburbs, tend to be highly affluent, kind of shop with big basket sizes. So we're very, very pleased with the partnership and the potential that we see going forward.
How much of that was about trying to box out DoorDash?
Well, we compete with DoorDash every day. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily trying to box out DoorDash, but they're a strong competitor. We think we're a stronger competitor. And we think that having access now to the Instacart customer, that tends to be, there's a lot of overlap between the Instacart and the DoorDash customer. We think that's a strong strategic move. The deal's going to be profitable for us. So we kind of have the best of both worlds in terms of top line growth and profitability. That's highly strategic.
Back newspaper cited sources as saying that Chinese officials told Musk on his whirlwind trip that China, quote, welcomes Tesla to do some robotaxi tests in the country and hopes that it will set a good example. Now, Tesla wouldn't comment on this report, but the move could potentially be very good for Tesla because it would be able to experiment with its robotaxi technology in an environment that is a regulatory environment that's much more conducive than the U.S. Elon Musk has said that he hopes to unveil the robotaxi on August 8th. For the Chinese, they want to be leaders in AI, autonomous driving, as well as other advanced technologies. So having Tesla here testing out the robotaxi backs the national agenda. Now, what was also interesting is that the state paper had also flagged that Tesla still did not have a full approval for a broader rollout of its FSD or full self-driving driver assistance technology for its other cars. They said that there needed to be approvals for data collection and data transfer. The paper also played down the announcement of a deal with Baidu, saying that it's more for the accuracy of the maps rather than for FSD. So not clear why the Chinese wouldn't approve this or discuss it in this way. However, the Chinese government has approved similar driver assistance technologies for Tesla's rivals here in China.
TikTok is suing the U.S. government over a new law that would have forced its Chinese parent company ByteDance to divest the app or face a nationwide ban, marking the first legal challenge since that law actually passed in April. Joining us right now is Sapna Maheshwari, New York Times business reporter. And Sapna, let's talk this through. We knew that the lawsuit was coming, but now what? This is something that's going to really slow things down. You're going to see it probably appealed all the way to the Supreme Court, is what some people are saying. What does this do to the timeline?
So right now, the timeline stands as is. I think TikTok said in its lawsuit that they believe, based on this law, if nothing else happens, the TikTok app would potentially go away from the U.S. in January of 2025. But we were expecting TikTok to file this suit, and this is really the company's last chance to sort of proceed and make its case that it shouldn't be sold from ByteDance, and that a ban of the app would be a First Amendment violation.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leverage to technology, and I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China. But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Xrp, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.